If you want a contact sport, as Peter David says, go and play ballet.
Welcome to another legendary episode of That Rugby Show. Maseru changed the setup a little bit for the day. Figured we'd try the big men on a couch. How's the couch going there, lads?
Can't see.
Happy there.
Feels like a scrub, bro.
It's 7 a.m.
Activating the corridor. As ever, I've got Big Dunk to my left, Bahulu in the middle, and Butters on the end. Are you used to being on the end, eh?
I'm used to be on the other end. Not tight.
Tight. Yeah.
This is the easy side.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Good week, lads.
Great.
Good week.
Yeah.
We had a good run around on Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah. Very good.
Left guys with no ankle.
Yeah.
Ah.
That was on the losing team.
As always, I made a break and someone decided to chase me down.
Someone chased you.
Don't chase a prop.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
And you made a new rule.
I tried to make it. People don't follow the rules. This is the problem. I'm going to listen.
All right, let's get into it, man. New coaching staffs in international rugby. I'll start with Dunk. He was most excited about Razak.
Sorry.
Do the breakdance.
Later, yeah.
Do the breakdance. Come on.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
New coach, many new players. Lots of guys have gone. It will be a new locking combination, but we do trust in Reza. Reza has a serious track record all the way from Canterbury to the under-20s, came to Crusader, played some people we never knew. Guys have gone to be serious rugby players. So really hoping that he'll be able to do something. And also from the onset, he's made it clear that NZW should change their stance on players who are abroad. Because currently they have lots of talent who've gone to look for money, rightfully. They still should be able to represent their country. So we're hoping the NZW guys will wake up and actually consider that. Obviously there's been lots of issues with them the past few years, NZW guys, but we believe they'll be sensible when looking at this, that the team can be as competitive as possible. But either way, I think he's going to put in a good team. Serious, hard-working forwards, people who just put down their head and do the business. Sometimes you see the Crusaders and wonder, who's this? No flashy guys, but
just
it's like a
get
horse.
the work done.
It feels like a break from the norm because they've hired from completely outside.
Yeah.
Really like the assistant or that how it had seemingly started to go with it. Yeah.
I think maybe because you look at the fact that Chad Stevenson, when he came in, yes, he came in and won. In 2019, you saw what happened. Then now you see with Foz. So I think it's sort of remove everything.
It starts.
What is up.
Try to get a new culture going.
Yeah. What do you guys expect from the All Blacks? What do you guys expect from the All Blacks in the rugby championship?
And then, of course, they're winning again. They're retaining.
You'll say this in Cape Town. You'll say this in Cape Town.
See, I don't think
so.
they're going to give him a proper birthday present.
Dude, I think Duncan's very confident.
Yeah.
And I don't see it. I think, look, you're going to win against Australia because it's Australia.
Yeah.
But but I don't think you're going to see. I think there's going to be a bit of tension, a bit of nerves. And when you look at them trying to play the box, and we're going to get to the box coaching stuff, the box is just, the plan, you can see the plan was already there before the World Cup, and it's just a continuation, whereas with All Blacks, there's a lot of risk. It's something completely new.
To the point.
Yeah,
like
so it's like...
the floorboards in Albania again.
Yeah.
This plan that was about to lose to 14 men.
Wow.
You were saying something there, right?
No. I was saying I think with regards to the All Blacks again, it's interesting how Tony Brown turned down. He was actually approached by John Mitchell, and he turned it down. and I really wonder what the thinking was there. Because I mean he's an all black, and he's an Highlander. He's lived there and everything. But I think maybe with his remember he played for the Stormers and then he played for the Sharks and all of that. It's more also guys with lifestyles and things like that. Guys take that into consideration. But I really wonder why he would not have.
Well, for Tony, don't actually think he wants to make his name.
Yeah.
I think he might actually be a future Blacks coach.
In the
He wants
next
to get
cycle.
as much exposure as possible. He wants to get as much exposure as
As long as he's not Plumtree.
We were almost losing to Fiji. We were thumped by Anne.
Plumtree.
It was so strange, eh?
What kind of
They were like,
force
oh,
was that?
they changed the AC and you're like, no, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
And suddenly they were good again.
They were good again, yeah.
Or just plum.
Literally plum.
That was the gap.
Always plum. It's always plum.
No, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what Rock Nation did there when they thought about him there. I thought honestly they were going to get that guy in for that job, the one Dave Rennie for the Sharks. I would have thought he would have. I thought Dave Rennie would have. I mean, Dave Rennie did nothing wrong in Australia.
Yeah.
He's done nothing wrong at Glasgow. He's done nothing wrong at the Chiefs. I mean, I don't understand what they do. He's a really, really good coach, you know.
The Wallabies.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Mr. Smith, yeah. I don't know who is his backroom
Yeah, I
staff.
think it's like something like
Haven't
But before we go to let's talk about England though.
yeah, let's take it.
Let's go to English.
Why don't we finish this on?
Okay, cool. Let's just okay. No, 100%. Because I don't know who the backroom staff is, honestly. So that's why I was like,
I also don't know I don't know if he actually put together his team. But for me, I think it's going to have a really big impact. You know, Australia have always been competitive, apart from when few here and there things will be going off.
Yeah.
But ideally, Australia in any year, they comfortably beat the All Blacks in a game. They comfortably beat the Box in a game. So it's just a matter of getting their minds right.
I think but I think the cycle with Australia is like this. It's always like this. Everyone came. Dave Rennie came in. He was like a stopgap to fix, to clean up whatever, to put like a band-aid on the situation that's already bad. And then Eddie Jones, and then you know what I mean. But now the thing is, if you look at previously, I mean, I've watched these highlights now. You watch from even '97 to 2000. You know, you see when the guys were Gregan, Joe Roth, and all those guys, when Laurie Fisher and all those guys were there as coaches for the. These guys were there. They were relaxed in their positions. Yeah. You know. Then they got Robbie Deans in at some point. Yeah. You know, and we thought, okay, they're going to be playing the Crusaders type game. Yes, that was when after Robbie Deans went, then it was.
Hey man, it was so weird. It's also you thought when Robbie Deans went,
yes.
like that would be like
yes,
fight.
that would be like yes.
To your point about like kind of rugby they'll play.
They're playing, yeah. So I don't know. They need. I feel like Joe Schmidt, yes, is the right call, but he's also on the older side as well, from my opinion. And I think you need somebody who's even your guy, your Dave Vessels, a guy who's going to come in, who's lived in Australia and knows the culture, and is going to build a squad, you know, because they have to start from scratch. Because now, number one, who's their 10? They've got that guy with the hair that Eddie Jones calls Butch James. Hell no, nothing like Butch James. Then you know you've got Kirkley Beale's gone. That other O'Connor is gone. You know, all their X Factor players.
Quaid is still there, like in the
Quaid is still there at 36 years old. And then they ask him, "Are you still gonna play for this?" He says, "Nah, Dad, my dad, mate." Like, I mean, you can't make the squad. You understand? They need a total,
like a revamp.
a revamp, complete. Where you're gonna be? Because now there's no way. Even if you say you're gonna bring in experience and so forth, your experience that you have in the Wallaby pack is Skelter. That guy Valentini, Samu, if they pick him,
And some was actually
he's gone to France. You see what I mean? And then you've got that other guy who rolls between tighthead and lucid. Slipper, you know, Alalatua, but they've got the players. The hooker guy, you know,
So the tools are there.
the tools are there. But now, what is your, you know? And then you've got that young lighty who's now Tate Gordon, and then you've got the other guy with the Nick White. It's, you know, they have to find.
Nick White is
Shut
not.
up, boy.
Shut up, boy.
Nick White is.
Even the guys you've mentioned, most of them will not be able to break into to actually this other team. But
Exactly.
their problem, as they've been putting it, the problem is from the grassroots.
Yes.
They don't have enough players.
Yeah.
You can clearly see that.
But it's the third, fourth sport in Australia. Yeah. It's,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, but why were they getting it right previously?
That's
always
what
happened.
That's what I'm thinking. How was Australia? Australia would at least make the semis or the finals. 2015, from 2015 they went down because 2015 they won the final. 2011 they knocked out SA. Got out in the quarters. 99 they won. 2011, 2007 they got out in the semis. Quarters, yes, quarters, yes. And the 4 more years one, yes. And then there was 03 they were in the final. 99 they won it. 95 they were quarters. 91 they were champions. 87 they were, so they've been knockout guys.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. They've been in the top 4 or 5 at least. You know.
They're struggling given at the rugby championship.
You understand? And you always know every year they at least clap the All Blacks on one game.
They must win
They must win one.
And also the box.
The box. They clap the box every time in Perth. You can't win there.
In Little South Africa.
In Little South Africa, yes, in Pretoria there. So I don't know what there's something has to.
Grassroots.
I would have gone for a younger guy.
That's what Phil Waugh was saying, that they need to sort out their issues down here.
Yeah.
So they can actually get proper talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you see, as long as they're not competitive at Super Rugby, they'll never be competitive.
It doesn't.
See, I was going to say that
Able to get a few 23 guys.
I think the fact that they aren't playing SA as well in Super Rugby, the fact that they only play New Zealand team in Super Rugby, I think we're only seeing the deep effects of that now. There's not enough
So,
churn for them.
Anza didn't think that through.
Yeah, at all.
It didn't take
At
it
all.
to the nth degree.
At all.
No.
At all.
you
And
actually think that thing has an impact.
Yeah.
I think it is.
If you ask me, rugby affected, it's not even about SA leaving that tournament. Generally, COVID affected rugby in the Southern Hemisphere more than it did
Yes.
in the North.
Sure.
The Southern Hemisphere guys didn't play as much as
Sure.
And when you look at the World Cup, then it tells you actually it was nothing to do with these guys coming out of it. If you look at the games SA has played against New Zealand ever since they came out of Sansa. You can't say there's not a big difference.
No, but now here's the thing though. This is the first time ever since they've gotten out of it. I think when did they get 2019?
Yeah.
2019. Ever since 2019 when Rassi came in, not even the Rassi factor. But ever since they've come out of the Super Rugby, I think they've played head to head with New Zealand 12. How many? From 2019? Maybe 12 or so. 10, whatever. But it's definitely it's 60-40 almost to SA. Yeah, definitely. If you think of
We'll go here.
if you think of the first one, if you think of that one where Janti scored and what's his name knocked the ball on Mackenzie, the last one, that was like the first one, Wellington one, and then there was the draw with Pollard kicking for the draw, and then there was the Ellis Park, not Ellis Park, Mbombela. And then Ellis Park was New Zealand, and then Mount Smart, and then Twickenham, and the final. So that's about 7-8.
Are those the only games?
Yeah, between 2019 and yes. Between 2019 and
No. They played rugby championship was played in Australia in 2020.
Where they went the 100th test.
That was 2020.
Yes, so the 100th
they won the
yes. Then they lost the 100th test, and then they won the second one.
Then 2021.
Then 2021 was this one. What's that one called? Back there, man, when Nick White was, where they were playing away.
2020 is when it was Ellis Park and.
No, last 22. Ellis Park in Mbombela. So it was 1-1. 1-1 Mbombela and then Ellis Park. And then those are those two, 2022. 2023 was Mount Smart.
So 2021 was where?
2021
was the Lions year.
Yes, 2021 was Lions.
Yeah, it was the Lions year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's Rugby Championship.
It was
after.
it was
1-1.
No, it must have been 1-1.
It was 1-1.
Because it came down to the last game, I remember.
Yes.
It has to have been 1-1.
It was 1-1.
Because New Zealand didn't lose to Australia.
No, but my point goes further to say there's also a lag effect. It wouldn't have had an immediate impact, but there's also pulling out because now you've had the cycle. You've had the World Cup cycle. I'm saying now let's see.
No, I'll tell you for a fact something that, and I was telling some guys back home. about the SS squad that won this World Cup. I was telling guys, they've got that generation the same way Richie Mako build up to
11, 15.
Then they lost 27,
Yes.
2007 to come to 2011, 2015. That is what SA have had. They've had Elizabeth, they've had Sia all this time coming up.
Yeah.
That is actually what has happened. You actually look now past this, they're also going into something new. So for them to dominate that period, they've had the players.
Continuity.
Yeah.
They've bonded, they've had all these issues and all. So they had a proper team to take them through that period. If you look at that,
You
most of
say
the
this
guys.
is golden generation.
Exactly.
2 World Cups and
True.
And the
Look at those
lines
players. Look at those players.
Okay, let's see.
Look at those players.
Yeah.
As the founding father of Kenya would say, in his day, let's wait and see.
But for a fact, just look at those players and the number of caps, the number of games.
No, fair.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the English. We'll
Yeah.
come to the box.
Yeah.
I'll-
I'm itching to talk about England.
let's
Jonesy in them ways.
So, Felix Jones. Yeah. Interesting though. He's now the.
So he's defense coach for the what?
Yeah.
Wait, he was a
No,
tech coach.
He
he
was
was
a
a tech
He
coach.
was a tech
He's a tech
coach.
coach.
He was a
and now
tech
he's
coach.
defense
He's
coach.
defense
Yes.
coach at
At
England.
Yeah.
Right. Now, there were clips that I saw. Right, where I think it was Ollie Chesham went, and then Marla was beaten. It looks like it's Chesham's fault against Italy where he leaked the try. Where Chesham went in like on a rush the box, because remember the box rush is outside in,
outside
right?
in, yeah.
So Chesham
Yeah,
went,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So Chesham went, and then when Chesham went, Marla was there, was probably chirping or pulling a
Something
prank or
Marla.
whatever.
Stand a Jerry boy.
You know what I mean? So
He'd be perfect at something. Yeah.
So Marla then, I don't know what Marla did then, but Marla was beaten on this thing. So now, here's the thing. To play that game, you see, the way I understand it, if I'm a defense coach of a team, if I'm going to play a certain system, I have to be given the certain players to play that system.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, between Marla and between LSK, I think LSK is injured, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Kenji's
Or-
injured.
I'm not sure. I really don't know what's happening. Between the two, obviously, LSK is more explosive. But Marla is the better scrummer. You understand what I'm saying? So, even the way they leaked tries, the tries Italy scored, they were not just fluke tries. They were actually creative tries.
Great try.
Great offload. Here, this. You know, you're like, wow.
Nice to see.
What's going? You would even think that Felix Jones is the attack coach for Italy. the way those tries that were happening there. You know. So it's very interesting to see how this whole shift of let's take IP from this team and move it to that team. Because remember in 2019 as well, they took Proudfoot to England as forwards coach. The forwards coach is a big thing. It's even bigger than defense coach. It's in terms of defense coach everything. And Eddie Jones took Proudfoot to England, and he's now ended up at Martins with Namibia and everything. At the end of the day, nothing. But that's what I'm saying. It's very interesting to see how because England need to find what their strength is.
Yeah.
And their strength, I can tell you right now for free, it's the 10 men, the Bulls game. They throttle with the forwards, play 10. George Ford can now do his thing because Farrell's on a sabbatical, and that's all. That's what they need to play.
That's a Clive did. Clive was like,
Yes.
it's going to be 10 rugby players,
Yes.
and we're going to win this cycle.
Yeah.
Yes.
But let me ask you, do you think that will still be able to work for them? Yes, it's their blueprint, but now people are conditioned. You can see they sort of had strangled the box, but they couldn't do it for 80 minutes during the World Cup. So with people having improved conditioning over the years, will that tactic still be able to work?
Truly, if you have Ford at 10, it'll work. So if you have Farrell at 10, so I think Farrell's the better rugby player between the two, right?
Yeah.
But Ford is the better tactician. So if you have George Ford, South African's pack of forwards, and just that, and like the rest, I'll play 12, Ranga plays 13, we would win a World Cup. Because he knows exactly where to put, he knows exactly when to run everything, and the way he organizes the field. Like the only person that plays in that style now, I think, is maybe Gabizi, but Gabizi probably handles the ball a little too much for me. if you let Ford do that with that South African, he would win everything. But the problem is, Farrell isn't the best 12 in England. So if Farrell's around, you're gonna play Farrell at 10, and so you have to have a completely different game plan. So, and that's the problem with England for me. That's always been the problem.
Still, the issue of conditioning still to me is a challenge when you're looking at playing 10-man rugby.
Yeah.
People now are conditioned. If you can even go back to the World Cup, they say that split brought in guys, but you have 7 guys in the park.
Yeah.
That is all about conditioning.
It's
It's all the body can do.
Your point is very right, because if you look at that game, that England, the semi-final game, Bongi, all those guys from when they started, they were so lethargic. They were so tired, right?
They were done.
But the burst of Archie and then Ox coming on and Dion coming on and so forth, coming for that extra for that, And England, on the other hand, did the same thing in 2019, where they knew what South Africa was going to bring.
Yeah.
And they still were able to, they had it here, and they still managed to lose it.
Yeah.
Itoja was there, Cole was there, Jamie George was there, and I've already mentioned the tight head, a hooker, and your tight lock, or whatever it is. And those are your core that's your tight 5. Your tight 5 was still there, and they still couldn't unsurface what the box still had, because they knew it's fire with fire at all costs. And the box were blunt that day, especially the first half. So I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know whether it's if you're a guy like Maseru Itoje, you've played the box in the final, you've lost to them. You've played them in the British Isles, you lost to them. You play them in the semis, you lost to them again. I think you should be like, something's not.
It's also a skill thing. You see, conditioning, everyone can work with it.
Yeah.
Another can work on it.
Yes.
So what other skills are you able to do so that you can overcome these guys? Because if it's just attrition, then it's all about who has been doing.
Let me ask you a question. Is Maseru Itoje good? Let's unpack him.
He does his work well.
Is he good?
He does his work well.
Okay.
He does his work well. He does what is asked of him. Because you see, you can look at it in this way. He's not the traditional lock.
Yeah.
He's not all about attrition.
He's not
This is
like-
that
he's not
breakdown,
like
what.
Yeah.
But he messes that track.
So he's not with his Burton, but he's
Yes,
also
that's
not
right.
with Matfield.
Yeah.
So no, he's
So he knows how to disrupt the lineup.
yeah.
So ideally, he's a disruptor.
Please give me the KPIs of a lock forward.
A proper lock is just about strong in the scrum.
Okay.
Strong
Strong at the breakdown.
So is he good at the
strong
scrum?
in the air.
Is he good in the scrum?
He is, but he's not as strong as
Okay.
majority of the modern lock.
Yeah.
But he's good in the air.
Okay.
He's good at disrupting the mauls.
Okay.
He's good at disrupting the breakdown.
Okay.
So he does things that most locks will not be doing. You'll see the breakdown and even the mauls and stuff, it will be back row guys will be doing. So it's sort of a hybrid of a back row and a lock.
And you don't need that.
Guys, we
In
need
my
to wrap up our discussion on the English. Let's quickly talk about the Irish. We'll have to do another segment for Bokcho.
Yeah.
I think that's a
It's the 4:30.
yeah.
The
The Irish.
They're about to dominate as usual, then fall at the line.
No, they're good at that.
So now, because we didn't win the World Cup, now the Six Nations is the greatest championship.
Of course,
It's the greatest
of course.
championship. And that France Island game
Was that shock? Was
the
the final that we never got?
Did you see Eben's comment on that? I was just laughing. I just put a laughing emoji. I know, but Ireland also, they also need to start looking at the next one.
Yeah.
People like O'Mahony.
O'Mahony is the captain for now. Why did you do that? I mean,
He's not going to make the next World Cup. Someone like Bandiaki, that style of play is not going to.
Yeah, it's
unless he revenge starts kicking and all.
and he seems to have gained more weight.
he does look a bit.
He left New Zealand, so I don't see him adding all those other things.
Yeah.
It will be, they'll sign here and there, but we all know, come that time.
Yeah.
Quarterfinal.
They're going in as number 1 again.
They've got some serious ball playing for us.
Yeah.
Those guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially that tight burn, number 4.
He's proper.
Typhoon's one of the best locks in the world, bro.
That's skill.
He's amazing.
Yeah, but no. There we go. He's a hybrid, but he's better than a Toje.
Yeah.
And he's also a loose forward, like a Toje.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you see, that's what I'm saying. Mara Toje is overrated to me.
So there's two, right? There's Ty Burn and Franco Monster.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are those are what it took. But Itoje is like halfway there, but he's not make shot anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. He must pick it.
But-
His biggest thing is this thing with the
here's-
penalty.
But here's the thing. You just can't leave him out though.
One of the most underrated rugby players in world rugby is Franco Monster.
Yeah.
What Franco Monster allows you to do, because he's kind of a hybrid lock and he's just, for me.
Yeah, he's
And-
I mean, Peter Steph gets all the headlines because Peter Steph does work, but Franco Monster.
no, Social will give you a shift.
And he works
He'll put in a shift.
ever.
It's like that 6 who used to play for Australia who went to Leinster.
Or not Rocky Olsen.
What was his name? He used to be in that back row with Pocock in the final. When they made 2015 final.
Oh, okay.
Pocock and Hooper.
That was Pooper, yeah, that was
I'm trying
Pooper.
to remember his name.
Rocky
That
Olsen,
guy
no.
just used to fly under the radar, but man,
Just
the work he
work
used to
rate.
put in.
Yeah.
Just like mentioned
I'll get his name as well.
Yeah.
I'll get his name as well.
But thank you for hanging out. Good chat.
Great chat.
See you on Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have another round on Sunday, and then
No,
next
really.
week we talk Bokjol and the new coaching setup and
Yes.
what to expect from those guys. Right.
That's dope.
Stay legendary.
Cheers.